Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Getting a lot of rest, recharging those batteries, and we're getting ready to go after it again here Monday morning. I want to do a quick video to kind of recap my month, talk about some things that I have going on and that I'm looking at changing or adjusting and just moving forward. And I want to talk a little bit about brick walls because if looking at this month, that's kind of what I feel like I ran into. And you're gonna run into these often. If you choose this industry and you choose to do this for a living, you're gonna run into these. And you have to understand that they're in our way for a reason. They're not there to keep us out or keep us away from our goals. They're there to give us a way and to reiterate to us just how bad we want to succeed, just how bad we want this. Because this industry takes a lot of willpower. You're going to go through some severe ups and downs. And you're going to have that fortitude. And as you're growing, as you're developing, when you run into these brick walls, when you run into these challenges, they're designed to help you grow, to develop, to become stronger, to become more resilient. And that's what it's all about. And like I said before, if this was easy, everybody would be doing it. But it's not easy. And we have to grind through and break through these brick walls. If we can't break through it, then we go around it. If we can't go around it, then we go over it. If we can't go over it, then we dig under it. We do what we have to do to, move forward. So talking about our, my week, it's only natural for us that we feel that we're on the right path when things are going right. Doors are opening up. We could see our goals right there in front of our face. And then we look away for a minute and then we look up and there's a brick wall in our face. Right there. And the first reaction is, what did we do wrong? Where did I make a mistake? Where did I make a wrong turn? But we can't think that way. Because, did we really do anything wrong? Did we really make that big of a mistake? Oftentimes we didn't. It's just something that's put there to help us get to the next level. Yeah, it may knock us down, but if we, fall on our back, we can look up. If we can look up, we can get up. And, so we just can't automatically think, what did we do wrong? Because it's probably nothing that we did wrong. Or if we made a mistake in judgment or whatever, then yeah, we'll accept it. We'll own up to it and we'll move on. But it's not always the case. You've got to look at the big picture. You got to look at what's important. What's your reason behind doing what you do? If it's selfish, if it's all about you, then yeah, you probably aren't going to get through it. But if this is bigger than you, then you can overcome it. Whatever that obstacle is. The brick wall is not permanent at that point. What is it that you're going to need to get over it? What do you need to stop and look at to strengthen so that you can make it through it? Do you need to continue to practice more? Do you need to get more screen time in your trading? Do you need to spend more time reflecting, looking at what adjustments you need to make? Whatever it is, when you hit a brick wall, you pick yourself up. You look at honing your skills. You do what you got to do. And you face that wall again. And whatever you have to do, you get through it. And that's what, that's a big part of what we do. Now, I brought this up because, like I said, I feel like I hit a brick wall, because looking at how everything had been going up to this point, yeah, it's been a tough year if you're trading small. It's been a tough year because the moves are hit and miss. The stocks that are really running are the ones that, the low float, small cap stocks that can be easily manipulated. And those are, making money, but they're not in my wheelhouse. They're not what I'm comfortable trading, because just as quickly as you can make all this money, you can lose it. And that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for the consistent long haul. And that's what it's all about for me. So I'm moving along. Everything's going. And then this month, I'm excited about going into the fourth quarter. And I hit a brick wall. And it's like I'm just kind of bumping into it. And I can't get to that next level. But then I realized I have to make some adjustments going into next year. I need to make some. I need to adjust and take these smaller gains so that I can continue moving forward. It's time to make that adjustment. I know it took a while, but it's finally beat it in my head that the market is just not going to give us what we need until we get a correction. So we're gonna have to trade what the market is giving us. And so, that's where we are going forward. So let's look at my last month. Well, in October, what I've made to this point is $821.23 in all of October. But I started with $1,500. Now, $821 doesn't look like much. Especially when I'm used to, making $1,200 to $1,500 a month. I mean, $1,200 to $1,500 a week, on a small account. It doesn't seem like much. But in the grand scheme of things, if I'm looking at the big picture here, how much did I actually grow my account by? If I made $821.23, that's 54% growth on my account this month alone. Now, we got 2 more days in the month that I can add to this. I can have 2 killer days and put another $800 on the bottom line, and I could grow my account by 100%. But that's not going to be my focus. What we're doing is we need to learn how to grow consistently, and this is the toughest market condition to grow a small account in. And you see we do it day in and day out. The beauty of this is, you guys that are in chat, you get to see every trade I take. You get to see the results of it. Sometimes you get to hear the frustration in every trade, or when I start to get impatient after I've been waiting an hour and a half for a move. Eventually your patience they're gonna run out. I have good patience. I feel like I can stay calm, cool, and collected, but eventually that mental energy runs out and you start to slip up. You get to see and hear all that live. For me, there's no better way to learn and to understand what it's really like to be in this industry and to do it full time. Because when you do, this is what you're going to be up against. And you have to decide, do you really want to do it or not? Are you willing to put forth what you need to put forth in order to get there? Now, whether it's day trading, whether it's swing trading, if you're working full time and you want to swing trade, That's great too, but you still have to have some type of discipline. I did the same thing. Where most of you guys are now, that's where I started. And it hadn't been that long ago, so I haven't forgotten. And I'm still in touch with that. Because I never want to lose that hunger, that drive, that determination that got me to where I am. I want to keep it, and keep moving forward. So, do I feel like this month is a failure? 54% growth? Absolutely not. Because you have to understand, we are growing. We're trying to grow our account. If we grow by 10%, then that's what we did. We're not going backwards. If this is the first month that you lost half of what you normally average, this isn't a failure. Even though you may be red, you didn't fail. You're going in the right direction. And it may take longer than you want to. You might have dug a deeper hole than most people, and it's going to take longer to get out. But you don't let those brick walls get in your way. You keep fighting. You keep moving. And when I looked at the big picture, I felt pretty good. I was down. I was defeated. I was disappointed in my results for this month. But when I looked at the big picture, it all became clear to me. This is where I started. This is where and how I started. The run that I made in the 10 months when I went from, trading with my $5,000 account. I started in 2015 with $5,000, and by October, I had got it up to over 78,000. This is where I started. This was the start. 54% growth. You can't put that, under the pillow and forget about it. You can't sweep it under a rug. So if we grow our account, if we start with, let's say $2,500 next month, and we grow it 55%, we're going to add another good chunk to it. And as our account grows, and if we grow it by 50% every month, think about where you're going to be in 6 months. You're going to have developed the consistency, the skill, everything that you need to sustain yourself in this career. And that's what it's all about. It's not about coming in, hitting a couple of big winners, and calling yourself a day trader. You have to be able to sustain yourself through the good times and the bad. And that's going to be key. That's why I harp on developing the skill. That's why I do the things that I do. And I try to help everybody, the way I help them out. Because this is real. I'm a real person. I was working a real job like everybody else. I was struggling to make ends meet like everybody else. And, I know what it takes to get there. And I know it's not, selling a dream. It's about reality. It's about doing what it takes, putting in the work, and grinding to get to where you are. All these successful people put in hours and hours and hours of hard work. You don't see it now because all you see is the glitz and the glamour. But if you talk to them, they're going to tell you they put the grind in. And I'm telling you, I got to where I am because I put the grind in. And that's what it's all about. So let's look at, just to give you an idea of some of the changes that I'm going to make. You can look at a couple of trades that I took this month. We can look at this TAL. This was a solid trader for me that I was looking at pre-market. Okay, this was a rejection, and I'm like, yeah, we should sell off into the pre-market. Well, this move here, this move here was what I was looking for going into the open. Because what I've noticed time and time again is that these stocks make this move into the open, and then I have to readjust my trade plans. And in this case, it tried, and when I saw it wasn't going to make it, I went ahead and got out. Now, that was a smart thing to do because you have no idea what's going to happen at the open. It can pop up or it can sell off. So I went ahead and took it off. I locked in, that profit. That's not bad, $70.88. And at the open, it put in this candle, but I completely spaced getting back in this. And what I'm doing is I'm taking, like, if the move doesn't set up or it fails, I'm immediately taking my mind off this and moving on to something else. I'm not watching it to see if it's going to actually pull back and set up again and give another opportunity. And here I missed out on a potential, $200-$300 trade. Only ended up with $70 because I didn't re-engage. This was a smart move. This was the right move to take it off because I noticed the change. This got bought up toward the end. Here we go. We tried it to sell off. It didn't make a lower low, and we started getting bought up. This was a smart move. Take it off. But wasn't waiting for the reset. So one of the adjustments that I'm going to make is I'm going to stick to, I'm not going to take my eye off of my main watches. My main watches are there for a reason. If they don't set up immediately out the gate, that doesn't mean they won't set up. It just means that the market is digesting it. It's not really setting up in the way that I want it to. So I leave it alone. I had a trade plan for this short, this being my final target, which I would have nailed. And I had a trade plan going long, which had I enacted it, I would have made my final target long. And when I go back at night and I reflect and I see this, I realize I'm in the right stocks. We're picking the right stocks. The problem is my execution. I'm focusing on executing this like the market was solid. And the market is not solid. I can't focus on executing like that. I have to focus on executing like I would in the summer. It's taking smaller moves, reset, waiting to see if it's going to bounce back, and then finally make the big move. And, going forward, this is what you're going to see me do. And this is why I do what I do. It's why I share my trading platform and chat while you watch, and you get to see every trade I take. It's important because I can call out trades all day long that I don't even take. Just say, hey, I took it. Type it in, I took it. And at the end of the day, type some numbers up and show you what I made. That does you no good. That doesn't help you. What you have to be able to see is something happening real time. Because when you start trading real time, you're going to have stops that get rejected when it hits. You're not going to be able to enter stocks when you want to. You're going to have an order out there and it won't hit. There are going to be things that happen that don't happen in a simulator. In a simulator, it's a perfect environment. You're going to get filled every time. And you'll get filled like your full position every time. No problem. And you can't learn like that. You can learn the fundamentals, but you have to learn how to react when the conditions are not perfect. And there are no trades that work the same every time. You have a setup, you know what you want the trade to do, but it's going to do something different every time. And how you react is going to determine whether you make money or not. So I'm demonstrating, you're seeing how I react to certain circumstances. You could learn from it. If you don't feel you react one way, you react the other way, at least you know. At least you've seen it and you know what to expect. And you're ready for it when it happens. You know, that's really what it's all about. Here's another one, HES. Real nice. I did get this one. I didn't get the opening range trade. You know, I missed it. So I waited for it to set up. Well, actually, it wasn't on our watch. So this hit the scan. So I was the reversal scan. So I was able to see it, and I was looking for a trend continuation under this level. If it rejected all of this, I had to wait for it to get under 41 before I could take it. And I got it. You can see it came back and tried to get over it again. And we got the sell-off. Never did get my first target. So I had to wait again. We recovered, came all the way back up. Now I had to hold through this. I had to hold through all of this. I had to trust that my trade plan, and I had to trust the technicals. 40 was a key level here. It was a key level here. It was a key level here, and it was even more key because we had the 20 and the VWAP right here. And as long as we didn't close below it, we would be fine. And here's these spikes that used to take me out back in the day. You know, a spike up, you get scared. If you're watching your P&L, you see it get redder and redder. So you're just going to take it off. I'm going to cut my losses. But in reality, it's just a fake out. This stock never claimed these levels. It rolled over. And I was trying to get my 40-50 level again. But we started to change tune again. So I had to take it off. You can see how long I waited, you know, for it to go. So what I should have done was when I saw this, take it all off here and then reset on this rejection. And then I would have been in a better position. But I had to hold through all of this and finally got my 40-50. This was my final target. But instead of taking it off here, you know, when we got real close, I was like, because I had to cover early, I'm going to let this thing go. And see if I can break through this level. And you can see this was a bad move. Because we recovered, claimed this, and as we started to come back, I got a little antsy because it looked like we were going to hold this level. And so I took off the last little bit. And, you know, I made that mistake. These are things that I have to clean up. Not hold for these longer moves, but actually take these off when they hit my targets. You know, stick to it. Take what the market gives me and then move on. Here's a stock where I could have made over $150 on had I traded this according to the plan and not amended it. You know, because I'm expecting the market to give me more than what it does. So you're going to see me make these adjustments in chat. Here's another one where I really wanted to get this up here. I missed it. And I kept trying to force a trade here. I tried to force it here. You know, I tried to short it here. It popped up. I mean, it did sell off. And it came back, stopped me out. You know, here's another one. So I felt, okay, I'm ready. It may be ready this time. I got back short. and again took me out. I just kept trying to force this. We weren't making lower highs here. No way, no reason for me to short this. Same thing here. No lower highs. No reason to short it. And so I waited. When we started making lower highs and we rejected this a couple of times, I went ahead and took it and, ended up covering some here. So I made the adjustment to take smaller moves. And then as we came back, I took it off at break even and, got short here again and was still holding this, trying to get back down to this level. But I made the adjustments. And these are the adjustments that you're going to see, in my trading. It's going to help me, make more money. Eventually I got back break even on. But it was, it was an ordeal. It was an adjustment that I had to make. All right, and here's another one. Great. I got the opening range. This was a little bit early. I let it run up, and I got in just under the VWAP. This is what I was looking for. Hit my target here, hit my target here, and, we held. What I should have done here is read what the market was doing and go ahead and take it off at this level and wait for the bounce. Here I gave up some more profit. This is another one that I could have had over around 150 bucks on had I managed it right and just cut it off and taken this huge move that it gave me. But I was waiting, looking for the bigger move, the bigger picture in a market that's just not giving it right now. And so, I had to clean it up. So, and I think over here I ended up taking it and stopping out. So I ended up giving back some more anyway. But it's taking the first move, locking it in. When we don't get the follow through, you shut it down. Just shut it down and wait, lock in your profit and move on to the next day. Because in all of these, you see a lot of times the big moves were here. Over here is when you start giving back bits and pieces of your profit. And that's not, ideal. The market is not giving us real big follow through. And I have to adjust it, and I have to take what the market gives me and stop trying to force my will, on the market. That's what we're going to do. That's the adjustments that we're going to make this week. And, see if we can finish these last 2 days of the month strong. There's some good earnings coming out both days. Should be able to nail one good trade every day. And if I can nail it, I really need to consider looking at the big picture and just locking in, locking in this money. That's the thing to do. Then stop trying to force my will on the market and just take what it gives me. So that's what I'm going to be looking at doing this coming week. We're going to, go through that brick wall and keep driving and pushing until we hit another one. Because we're going to run into another one. We'll just know exactly what to do and how we need to do it. We gain more experience. Every brick wall we hit, we gain that much more experience. And we're going to get that much closer to our goal every time we break through it. So you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning.